Hi, Desiree Nicole with Desiree Nicole Designs, and we're back to do another piece of furniture. This piece is an entertainment center, but my client wants to use it as a dresser, so we're gonna give it a little update. The top has been urinated on by someone else's cat, so this wasn't savable. It is like a particle piece that once it's soaked into, there's no way to get it out of there, and with this kind of material you don't have the option to sand it down and try to get rid of that odor, so we're just gonna completely trash the top. I've already started a little bit, but I wanted to save some for you guys to see on video. I've already removed the drawers and this front piece, but follow along and let's do the rest.
Like I said, I had already gone through and taken most of this off, but I wanted to show you the technique that I used. So if you ever come across a piece like this, you'll know how to approach it. This was put down with heavy duty staples and glue, so it wasn't very hard to just hit off the top. I do want to show you these urine stains. This smell was so bad, but now that this piece is gone, that won't be a problem. And I did take measurements beforehand. Now that I have the top removed, I need to get rid of all of these nails. So I'm either removing them, or if they did not come out, I did go through with a hammer and just hammer them down. Now this is the top piece, and I am just going to set it on here loosely to see how I want it to fit. You can see how the piece is way longer than I need, so I will be measuring and then cutting off the part that I don't need. So here I've measured. Don't mind, my first measurement was a little bit off, so I'm going to take my jigsaw and cut along that edge. I do get a little off track, but that's okay because I'll just follow with the sander and kind of straighten everything up. Everything's cut, and I did notice that my wood had a little bit of a bow, so I'm going to add some weights to possibly straighten that up just a little bit before I attach the top. In order to attach the top, I'm going to need some anchors, or I'm going to use pocket screws, and I'm going to put it through this wood like this, and then the screw will go through there and then anchor the top to the dresser. So I'm going to show you how to do this with a kreg jig. This is the kreg jig, and this is the drill bit that comes with it. In order to find out where this ring needs to be on the bit to stop the bit from going through, you'll need this little measurement tool. You'll put it against your wood, and it will tell you where to stop that ring on the drill bit. So once I know where I need to stop it, I'm going to take it and unlock that ring around there with the little key on the end of the measurement tool. Now once I have that unlocked, I'm going to slide it to the measurement that matches the measurement from whenever I measured on the wood. So once I have it there, then I'm going to lock this ring into place. So then I can begin drilling my pocket holes into each piece of wood. Now I'm going to take each piece of wood, and I'm actually going to be cutting these into 3 different pieces, but to save time, I use these longer pieces, but I'm going to measure it into 3 equal parts, drill the pocket holes, and then I'll be cutting this into a smaller piece later. So I'm marking at every 4 inches, and then I will put 2 pocket holes on every 4-inch measurement. Now that these are all split and measured, I'm going to put this in the kreg jig, and then you pull down the clamp and that holds it into place. Next, I will be taking the drill and then inserting it into my selected holes, and I will drill the holes. And that has created pocket holes for the pocket screws to attach the top. I do want to note that whenever you are drilling in the pocket holes, to be sure that you're using the forward and reverse button on the drill, because you don't want to drill it in and then just rip out the bit. So make sure you're hitting forward and reverse as you are drilling the holes. Now that I have all these cut and ready, I'm going to go through around the perimeter and install them with glue and nails to ensure that they're secure. Now I've moved my piece inside to stain. I'm going to stain the drawers and the entire body of this piece. This is not real wood. It is like a laminate or a machine printed wood. So I would say to test on a piece that you don't want to ruin if the stain does not take. I'm going to be adding a little bit of color to this piece. So the technique that I'm using is I'm using a plastic paint spatula and I'm dipping it into each color of my paint, and then I'm lightly spreading it onto the drawers, and then I will just layer each color over each other, and this will create kind of like a chippy barn look, or kind of like a painted boat that has several layers. When switching colors, I will wipe my plastic spatula onto a paint rag. This keeps the colors bright and from mixing with each other. Also, wait for each color to mostly dry before going over with a new color. Next, before attaching the top, I will be staining both sides of the wood. I don't know why I do both sides. It's probably more wasteful than anything, but I just wanted to be sure that I got the whole piece of wood stained. So the technique that I use is I take a brush. This is a Varathane stain from Home Depot. It's in the color walnut. I'm just going to apply a thick coat of stain over the top, and then I will follow this and wipe it away with a microfiber rag. Now that I've stained the top and it's ready to be anchored down, I will be taking these kreg jig screws that come with the kreg jig kit. You can also purchase them separately at a hardware store. So I'm going to be taking my pocket screws and using the bit that came with the kreg jig. It's very long, so you can reach hard to reach places. So you put your pocket screws through the pre-drilled holes and just anchor down that top. I do want to note that I did have my husband and my son help me hold this in place so the top didn't move while I was screwing. Everything's done. The final step is to add a clear top coat over the entire piece to protect it from damage and to keep the colors bright. I'm going in with the Crestana brush, and this is actually for blending, but I like that it has a lot of coverage and it allows me to work quickly, especially with top coats that tend to dry very fast. The piece is put all back together, and the last step is to stage for photos.
It's done. I did it. I hope that the biggest takeaway from this video was how to attach a new top when your old top is trash, or maybe you just don't have a solid wood piece and you would prefer it to be solid wood. I hope this really helped how to do the whole process. I love this top. I know my client's gonna love the top. The last one was, you know, really thin. I showed you in the beginning of that video. It was like basically like a piece of cardboard, just a thick piece of cardboard. So this upgrade is gonna be nice. This new technique of the boat wood, I like to call it boat wood. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you know, just layering these colors. It's going to be a nice pop of color in her room, and also it can be camouflaged into just an ordinary piece. Most things that are not wood are hard to stain. This happened to be really easy. I don't know if there's actually any particles of wood in here, but it did take gel stain very well, so I'm thankful for that. So I hope that you learned a lot from this video, and I'll see you next time with the next flip. Bye guys!